Good morning, you guys. I just made myself some food and I'm gonna show you guys what it is. There's two things that's not with the plate, obviously. I'm gonna eat a banana and I also have a yogurt right here. But let me show you guys what my food is because it's not my normal breakfast, and I'll explain it when I show you guys. So here's my breakfast. I do have 3 slices of bread because I didn't want to leave like one of the ends of the bread just sitting there. But I'm most excited about this. This is pickled broccoli stem, so it's that like core of the broccoli. And I pickled it last night, and then this morning I threw in some brown sugar, soy sauce, and some of these chili pepper flakes that we had. And then I made myself 2 eggs, which you guys saw me cooking that. But I'm really excited about these. They're so good, and now I know what I can do with my broccoli stems whenever I make stir fry. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and then I'm gonna head out because there's a fair happening in town this weekend, and it's like an artisanal fair, I think is what the research says. So I'll be going to that. Kind of learned from last week, I probably won't be filming a whole ton, but I am gonna just kind of look around, see if I can get any pictures, see if I can find any like gifts. I know it's like really early on, but one of my friends requested something really specific, and I haven't seen it anywhere, because for that friend's gift, the thing they wanted, I was like, the minute I see it, if it's like within a reasonable price, I'm probably gonna have to get it then. And since it is an art fair, I feel like I have a higher chance of finding it or something along the lines. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I was planning to buy all my gifts in like June, but part of me feels like that's not the best idea because some of the things I may not be able to find in June. It just depends on like what holidays and what events are happening, and an artisanal fair is kind of the best place. So there's been a bit of a change in plans. I'm going to a dance thing first, and I'm going to meet up with Lucca, and then she's going to go to the fair with me. And I decided to reach out, one, because she's really fun to be with, and two, it may be good to have a translator. If, like, there's people who don't speak English at the thing, or my Lithuanian fails, or I need someone loud, because, like, the only way I was able to communicate last week was because Lucca was loud for me, and so I think that should be good. So I'm thinking of taking a walk, since I have about 20 minutes to kill, to one of the farther bus stops from me. So, like, I'm gonna walk from my bus stop to the other ones until I need to hop on a bus. So I'm not, like, super early, if that makes sense. We are leaving the dance, and we're gonna stop by Lucca's house, I think, get some food, and then we're gonna go to the fair. Here's Lucca.
Hi!
And here's a new friend.
Miglė. Say hi. Hi.
So we're just walking, and I have a flower and a stuffy now, so.
Yay!
I also acquired 2 cards, which I will share about later. And we're back, finally. It is dark outside, and I'm just happy. one of my favorite things about music is how it unites people. I don't understand half the songs, but I just have fun. The fact that 7 notes plus sharps and flats on in different octaves can just make somebody happy is I'm just so grateful that music is a thing. Um, brain is kind of bleh. This is actually my second try filming this. So, kind of a rundown on what happened today. I had breakfast, and I was about to say that my roommates were gone when Minji actually walked in the door. So, my first clip kind of ended funny. That's why Minji had walked in through the door. Minji was in Italy, and I didn't realize she was getting back in this morning. Cecilia is over in Estonia/Finland. I think I recommended them visiting Helsinki from Tallinn, so I think they're doing that at some point. So she's up in Estonia/Finland right now, and the plans completely changed. I did not end up going to Kaziuko's fair when and as long as I was hoping. But it didn't really take a long time for me to go through everything because I wasn't trying to shop. I kind of just looked at everything and just walked through. So I did take the long way home of walking through from, I think Lucca Square is where we were at, where we started, and then walking all the way to Cathedral Square to Corrales Mindaugas. And so that allowed me to kind of view everything. In the morning, we were at a dance thing, and I got a tulip, which I'm trying to revive at the moment. It's starting to look a little less droopy, but it's currently over there on our table. We have a table in our room that we use as storage, and it's looking a little more alive than when I brought it back. And then from at the dance, I met a lot of cool people, really sweet people, and I just had so much fun dancing with everybody. And the person, I think the director of the club, I think she runs an organization that helps special needs people, and so I think that's what I was told somewhere along there. And so she was really sweet. She was always getting us dancing. She was dancing with us. It was really loud, but it was good that we were kind of allowed to leave the room if we needed to talk because you couldn't hear anything, and then you can come back in. And that was just so much fun. And the reason why I got flowers is because it's Women's Day today. And so this guy had brought flowers for his girlfriend, but also brought a large bouquet of tulips to give to every girl that was in the room, including the director. Just every girl walked out of there with a tulip. And so that was really sweet of them. And then I also received from a mother-daughter duo. The daughter had made these little notes for everybody, all the girls. When I mean everybody, the girls. And it has a note inside. And so that is super sweet. So, Libe Aju. And then the mother saw me being nice to her daughter because she doesn't talk. And, was every now and again, if we were near each other and it's everybody was dancing together, we were holding hands, dancing in circles. We did the train where you hold on to people's shoulders at one point. And then obviously there's the one where you just hold, shoulders? But I don't know what things are called. And so she handed me this. So Audrey Angelina. And so that was really sweet. Then we went over to Lucca's grandparents' house. I thought it was her house. I was told it was her house until we showed up. And then she's like, yeah, so it's my grandparents' house. And I was like, oh. okay. But they were super, super sweet, and they were really kind. Her grandmother had made the three of us food, and so we had spiral macaroni pasta. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. The pasta that's spirals, um, with meat sauce and vegetables. It was really good, and I was wanting meat sauce and was highly considering making pasta as my Monday meal prep. Probably still will, just not meat sauce. And so it was like when I saw what she was giving us to eat, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy that this morning I was thinking about pasta meat sauce, and now I'm eating pasta meat sauce, but healthier version because it had vegetables in it. Um, so that was really fun, and we just talked at the table, and it was like time to kind of just recoup after dancing for 3 hours. 3 hours. No, 13, 14, 15. 2 hours. 2 hours. And then from there, we caught the bus into this city center where the Kaziuko Mugė, Kaziuko's fair was happening. And we met up with another friend there. They were also at the dance during the morning, and then the three of them stayed at Caffeine, and I went through most of the booths. So I walked from there all the way to Corrales Mendogas. The reason why I backtracked a little bit, because the cafe we went to was kind of like in the middle, because we tried to find one that's more empty, I think. At least I was just following them. I think that was what was in mind, was to find one that was more empty. Is there was a stand that I thought had something I could give Maven, but when I went to look, I was very disappointed up close. And the reason for it is that Maven wants this. Well, like I say this as if she has a specific one in mind. Maven requested as like her little gift I would bring back for her is a doll. She collects dolls dressed in the national costume. And so that's kind of what she requested. Like, it wasn't you have to get me this, but it was like an idea. And that I was like, okay. I know Maven likes that. She asks her grandparents for it. She draws amazing artwork with national costumes. And so, like, for my mind, how it went was, if I find one, that's what she's getting. And so I just thought like art fair is like probably the easiest place to find one, because I also know how big the fair was. There was a map going into the square, going to and from classes all week, just marking out what roads would be closed for the fair. And so I knew it was like big. It was big. And so I was really bummed when it was like, I thought from a distance it was great, but then you walk up close and it's goblins in national garb, and I'm like, I don't want to buy her a goblin. Like, there's gotta be one where it's just like a girl in a national dress, not goblins in the national garbs, right? And so I was walking and walking, heading towards Cathedral Square, because I was like, surely there's gotta be one. And my hopes were like going down and down the closer I got to Cathedral Square. And I was like, I'm never gonna find one. I'm never gonna find one. And I came across a stand that actually had girls in national costumes. There were so many. It was like hard to choose. And so I was like so excited. And then the other panic set in of, okay, I need to know how much this is, and if I don't have the money, I'm gonna have to come back. Which is fine. There was a Narvison on the same street. I can go get cash there. But I was like, I also need to keep it under budget, right? And so I'm over here like, okay, these can't be that much more than $10. Like 20 max, right? And this lady was like, I think trying to help me out, because there was like, two people wanting to take a picture. I think one of the workers knew a customer, and so they wanted to take a picture together at the event. And they accidentally cornered me into the picture, and I was trying to get out of the picture. And so then this like kind older lady just started talking to me to kind of it was definitely not a I care if you understand me. Um because she kept talking to me even after I said I don't speak Lithuanian. Um and it was very much I think she was just like, okay, you're part of you are just part of my party situation. Um, and then she had asked what the mini little dolls that weren't in national costume, like they were, but it was not very detailed, um, how much those cost. And the worker goes, 5. And I just remember going, oh no, if the little things are 5, how? And I'm not even buying the biggest size, right? Because I do have to make sure it fits in my suitcase. How, like the next size up, or did I get like the next size, 2 sizes up from the next one? How much would that cost? Because it was more detailed, and I'm over here like, oh no. I'm guessing 25. And then this other lady came over and was looking at the same dolls and a different one, thankfully. But she asked how much the ones on the wall were, and the lady went 15, and I was like, because I had $15 on me. And so I confirmed the price though. Like I ended up asking, even though I understood everything, right? I still ended up going, hey, English? Okay, confirm how much is this? And then she was like 15. I was like, okay, I heard the right thing. And so I got Maven a doll. And it hangs. And so that's what this little string is if you see the reflection. But it's a little doll, and she can either display it, she can hang it somewhere. Um, it's so cute. It's in national costume. There are some different national costumes within Lithuania, and so I just chose one that one I liked, and two was like the most of the ones on the wall, the closest one to the one that I saw at the party that I went to, and the birthday party from like my first P Day. So this is what P Day number 6. So P Day number 1 before that I went to a birthday party. So I tried to find the one that was closest to that. And this was the closest thing I could get to it because there was also a book that was telling me where things were from what, and I was like, cool. I think this is what we're working with. And so it was intentionally chosen to not pick one of the other ones because I wanted something close to where it's like I could tell me even like, yes, I physically like seen this, and I hope she likes it. And so I'm really happy. When I found this, I was happy. I continued to look at the other stalls just because I hadn't walked past them, but I didn't care at that point. You know, I got what I've got. I got what I wanted. I'm happy. So we're just gonna take a walk, right? And then they had students singing. So there was a little stage with different performers, I think, on there. And when I was there, there was a primary school singing. So I stayed for that because I did recognize a few of the songs, or at least the tunes. I don't know the words. And so that made me really happy. And then finally, I decided to come back because I need to eat dinner, go to sleep, probably practice my Lithuanian before sleep since it's still early. But overall, it was just a really fun P Day. I didn't feel that overwhelmed because I wasn't having to interact with a lot of people or be around a lot of people. And building my tolerance of putting myself out there, I guess. So that's good, I think. Oh, and let me talk about the moose because y'all saw the moose and y'all are probably like, why do you have a Christmas moose? What's going on? So Lucca won this moose in the singing competition, and she gave it to me because it came in like a kit for Smarties. It was a Smarties kit, and it came with like a plush, and then it came with a lot of chocolate inside. She gave me the plush, and then she gave her friends the chocolate. She did give me one piece because Miglė told her to, but I'm gonna save that for after Lent is over. Um, and so now I have a little moose, and I told Lucca that I was gonna take this back with me to the U.S. As a reminder of her, and just the fact that it's been a thing for me to get a stuffed animal everywhere I visit, and so this is going to be like my little reminder of I have a moose in my collection of animals. I think I may have a moose already. I don't know, but I have a Christmas moose, super sweet, from Lithuania, from my friend Lucca. So yeah, alrighty. And so with that, I'll see you guys next week, I suppose. Bye.